Hi there, and welcome to day 9 of our 14-day yoga challenge. Today's class is going to be a deep hip opening yoga sequence, inviting us to let go of everything that no longer serves us. Stretching the hip muscles causes a release and allows stored emotions to melt away. This is the magic of yoga. Many people start crying in those deep hip opening yoga poses as old emotions rise up. Whether you will have tears rolling down your face or not, this flow will be an excellent opportunity to let go and welcome in the new. We're starting off this flow in a cross-legged seated position. Close out your eyes. Make sure that your spine is long and straight. Resting the hands on your thighs. Arriving in this moment in your body. There's nowhere else to be and nothing else to do. The words you speak and think become the house you live in. Throughout this flow, always bring your awareness back to your hips area. Letting go of the things that no longer serve you. Letting go of tension, stress, worries, and anxiety. Creating that space for the new with every breath that you take. Welcoming in that new. With every exhalation, letting go of that old. Placing the hands slightly behind you, then lean into your hands to open the chest and gently gaze upwards. Stretch out the hip flexors. Dropping the knees down to the floor to really create that openness across your thighs, through the hips, and to your upper body. Drawing the shoulder blades together and sinking the shoulders down away from the ears. Begin to breathe deeply into your belly. Coming back into an upright position, tilting forwards from the hips, resting the forearms on the ground in front of you. The knees become heavy and drop down, feeling the stretch in the hips. Pushing yourself back up and then rolling over your knees to come into a tabletop position. Slightly moving your knees towards the back. On the next inhalation, moving the hips towards the ground and open the chest to the front into an upward facing dog. Exhale, move to the back to round your spine. Inhale, move forwards, shine your heart open, stretching out the hip flexors. Exhale, roll to the back and round the spine. Inhale, move forwards, stretch out the front part of your body. Exhale, round, stretching out the back part of your body. Coming into a neutral spine, moving the knees slightly in so the knees are underneath your hips. And then inhale, move the right knee out to the side into fire hydrant. Exhale it back down. Stretching and strengthening the hip area. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Then stepping the right foot on the ground next to your mat. The whole right foot is touching the ground. Inhale, swing the hands up. Reach the upper body up. Exhale, moving over to the right side. Resting your right hand on the right thigh. With every exhalation, sinking closer towards the right side. coming back to the center, then dropping down to the left side, placing the left hand on the ground. Right hand reaches up high. Inhale here, stretch the hips up high. Exhale, dropping the hip down towards the left foot. Right hand reaches down to the right foot. Inhale up, reach the hips up high. Exhale down, sit to the back. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, coming back to tabletop. Same on the other side. As you inhale, move the left knee out to the side and up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale out to the side. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Stepping the left foot on the ground next to you. Inhale, swing the hands up. Exhale, moving over to the left side. Lengthen as you inhale. Sink further as you exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, placing the right hand on the ground, left hand reaching up high. Inhale, move the hips up high. Exhale, sinking down into the back, lowering your butt down to the right heel. Inhale, swing up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, placing your hands down on the mat into tabletop position. Tuck under the toes and then sit back onto your heel. Placing your hands onto the hips. As you inhale, move your butt up and to the front, stretching out the hip flexors as you're pushing the hip further towards the front. Exhale, sitting back down onto the heels. Inhale, kneel up, push the hips to the front. Exhale, sit back down. Inhale up and reach forwards. Exhale, down. Inhale, come up and then stay here, placing the hands onto your lower back, fingertips reaching down. Inhale, push the hips forwards, draw the elbows together behind you and open up the chest. Staying here. And then release, placing the hands onto the ground, lifting off the knees, sending the hips up high and to the back into a downward facing dog. First, walk out your dog, bend one leg at a time. Finding stillness, moving your legs together, and then lifting the right foot up and to the back. Bringing a bend into the knees and then begin to draw circles with your knees. So you're opening up the hips and you're drawing circles from the hips. First, draw them in one direction. And switch up the sides, drawing those circles the other way around. Finding stillness, straightening that leg, then open the hip up, flexing the upper foot. As you exhale, bringing a bend into the right leg, letting that right foot sink down slightly behind you to really open up your front body and stretch out those hip flexors. Squaring the hips and stepping the right foot to the front, in between of the hands, dropping down onto the left knee. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, place them onto your hips, staying here. Pulling the right hip towards the back, pushing the left one to the front to square your hips. Make sure that the right knee is stacked directly on top of the right ankle. Placing both of your hands down, inhale, reach the right hand up and then to the back. Lifting off the left foot and finding a bind between the right hand and the left foot. Shine open your heart, twisting to the right side and gazing up. Turning your chest upwards. Releasing that bind, walking your hands to the front and then heel toeing the right foot outwards. So you're placing both of your hands on the inside of the right foot. Open up your chest. Palms are touching the floor. You have the option now to bring in some movement into this lizard pose. Placing the right hand onto your right shoulder as you inhale, reaching that right elbow up to the sky and gaze up. Exhale, moving it down, touching the mat with the right elbow. Inhale, open and turn up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Then releasing, placing both hands onto the floor, stepping it to the back into a downward facing dog. Taking one breath here, reconnecting with your body. Inhale. Exhale. Moving your feet together. Inhale, lifting the left foot to the back and up. Bending at the knee, drawing some circles from the hips. Constantly pushing the weight away from your hands towards the back so you're releasing your wrists. Then drawing those circles the other way around. Finding stillness. Open up the hip actively. If you're opening up to the left side, flexing that left foot, and then bringing a bend into the knee, dropping the foot down to open your front body even further. Squaring your hips, stepping the left foot to the front in between of the hands, dropping down onto the right knee. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, place your hands onto the hips, squaring your hips so the right one reaches to the front, left one to the back. With every exhalation, sinking further, feeling the stretch, especially across the right hip flexors. And placing the hands down, inhale, reach the left hand up, exhale to the back. Lifting the right toes off the ground, finding a bind here, and twisting further to the left, rotating your chest upwards. Releasing the bind, coming to the front, heel toeing your left foot outwards to the left side, so your hands find space on the right side of your leg. To bring in some movement, place the left hand onto your left shoulder, and then inhale, move the elbow up. Exhale, down, left elbow is touching the ground. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time, inhale. Exhale, placing both of your hands onto the ground, stepping it to the back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, come up high on the toes. Exhale, bend into the knees, look to the front, walking your feet towards the hands. With a small bend in the knees, come all the way up into standing position. Grounding down through the left foot, and then reaching the left knee up towards the chest, interlacing your hands around and pulling that right knee in closer. Gazing onto one point that is not moving. Opening the right knee out to the right side, so you're still holding your leg with the right hand, and the left hand is either reaching out to the left side or you're placing it onto your left hip. Moving the head over towards the left side. Bringing it back to center. Without touching the ground, stepping the right foot towards the back. Then dropping down onto the whole right foot, opening the hips out to the side. Right hand reaches to the back, left to the front. With every exhalation, sinking further into that front knee. Just make sure it's not going beyond the front knee. Dropping the shoulders down. And bending the front arm, lowering it down onto the left knee. Lowering the right hand down and then lifting it up to the front, directly on top of the right ear. As you inhale, come all the way back up, stepping the right foot to the front, shifting the weight into that right leg, lifting that left leg off the ground and moving it in close towards your chest. Getting hold with both of your hands and pulling it in even closer. And with your left hand, move the left knee out to the side, placing the right hand either on your hip or out to the side. Gazing over to the right. Moving the knee back to the center and then stepping the left foot to the back without touching the ground. rotating that whole left foot down, opening out to the side, right hand reaches to the front, left to the back, sinking into the right knee. Try to bring the right thigh parallel to the ground. Bringing a bend into the right arm, lowering down onto the right knee, lowering the left hand down and then swinging it to the front, directly on top of the left ear. Lifting yourself back up, then windmilling the hands down, stepping it to the back into a downward facing dog. Take one breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Drawing the right knee towards the right wrist and moving the right foot out to the left wrist, sinking down into pigeon pose. If you can touch the ground with your sit bones, bringing a block underneath the right sit bone or the right thigh to establish that connection with the ground. We're staying in an upright pigeon pose for today. So place the fingertips slightly in front of the hips, then push into your arms to open the chest, slightly leaning back to really open out the hip. Pushing into the hands, stepping into the back into a downward facing dog. Drawing the left knee towards the left wrist and the foot out to the right side, sinking down, finding your variation either with or without the block. Creating mini tens with your fingertips, so placing them down, pressing into your arms to open up the chest. Pressing into the hands and then directly transitioning into a seated position with the legs wide open. So you're rotating out to the right side, your legs are extended and open out. Placing your hands on your thighs and gently rotating your legs to the back, creating space in front of you. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, begin to fold forwards from the hips, lowering your forearms down onto the ground in front of you. With your thighs rotating outwards, you're creating that space for you to lower down. Make sure that you're keeping a straight spine and only lower down as far as your spine is still straight. Gently pushing yourself back up, closing your legs and swinging them to the back, coming into a kneeling position. Open your knees and slide down into frog pose. Keeping a 90-degree angle between your thighs, your lower legs, and a flexed foot. We're doing this pose to the long side of the mat, so we're having support under our knees. If it's still not enough for your knees, feel free to bring a folded up blanket under both of your knees. With every exhalation, sinking deeper into that pose, either staying on your hands or lowering down onto the forearms. And pressing into the hands, closing the knees, sitting down, bringing both of your feet together, dropping the knees outwards. Getting hold of your feet so the thumb is on the inside at the sole of your foot, and the other four fingers are on the outside and the top of the foot. Rotating your feet upwards, opening your feet like the pages of a book. Try to avoid bouncing here, remaining in stillness. Slowly sliding your feet to the front, still the soles of your feet are touching. Then lowering yourself down, extending the arms out in front of you. Turning your arms so the palms are facing upwards. Breathing into the stretch that you're feeling across your body. Lifting yourself back up, closing the knees, and then rolling yourself down one vertebrae at a time. The feet are touching the ground, arms are next to your body, and then push into the hands and the feet to lift your hips up high. Staying here in this bridge pose in stillness, with every inhalation sending the hips higher and higher. And then slowly release, lowering yourself down one vertebrae at a time, bringing in both knees and then extending the left one away from you, hugging the right knee in closer and closer towards your chest. Extending the right arm out to the side, and with the left hand on top of the right knee, moving it over to the left side, incorporating a twist. Coming back to center, moving in the left knee and extending the right one. First, giving yourself a hug, moving the knee in close to the chest. Then extending the left arm out to the side, placing the right hand on top of the left thigh, moving it over to the right, gazing over to the left away from the knee. Coming back to center, extending both of the legs. Your feet are dropping outwards, relaxing your arms with the palms facing upwards. Close out your eyes. Begin to relax your whole body, running a body scan from your feet all the way up to the head. Noticing how your body is feeling. Bringing the awareness to your hips. Letting go and inviting in the new. Remembering that the words you speak and think become the house you live in. Bring back movement into your body by moving your toes and your fingertips, bending your knees, rolling over to the right side. When you're ready, gently pushing yourself back up into a seated position, bringing the palms together in front of the chest, allowing the knees to drop down. Bowing the head down, bringing a smile towards your face, showing some love and gratitude for showing up, working on yourself for yourself. Namaste. I am so happy we shared this flow together, and I'm excited to see you for tomorrow's flow. I send you love and light and wish you an amazing day.